We are back today with Melissa Dela Cruz, and she's going to share some amazing tips because I used to have this problem with gel, and that is
bubbles in the nail.
Bubbles in the nail. It happened to me. I'm sure it happened to you.
Yes, it did when I was learning for sure.
And I think I really love this because you're going to show us.
I'm going to show you on one nail what not to do, what movement not to do, like how you shouldn't pick up your gel, how you shouldn't apply it, and then immediately show you how you should pick it up and how you should maneuver it.
I love this. I think this is one of the best ways to learn. Let's get started.
Hello. So today I'm going to show you how not to get bubbles in your gel application. So I'm going to do two nails. One of them, the movement and how I do it's going to be what not to do, and it will cause the bubbles. And then the next nail will be the movement you should do so it won't create bubbles. So let's get started. So I'm going to start off with our precision gel. That's our Synergy Precision Gel. So I'll apply it with the applicator. So reminder, this is movement that you shouldn't do when applying gel. So you'll come here and you'll kind of go in your gel. See, I'm kind of in my gel. Then go ahead and bring it down. Okay, what this is going to do is not only create bubbles, it's going to make it really go further down on your sides than necessary by being inside your gel. When you're in the next one, I'll show you the movement, how much cleaner application it is, and there'll be no bubbles in the next one. So let's go ahead and flash set this one for 30 seconds. I took the bottom off because I'm on my training hand and I don't want the form to move. Okay, it's hard to see if you have bubbles in it when your form's on. It's usually when you take it off and you're ready to file, you could see them. So I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to build the extension just like I did on the first one with the movement you should do to not create bubbles. So let's go ahead and squeeze out your gel first. Once you have it out, connect it to the tip. Take a ride on top of your gel. So your movement is kind of the same. You're just not digging into the nail. You're not heavy-handed. So I'm right on top of the gel, bringing it down, using a back and forth motion. I'm not inside my gel and I'm not doing this movement inside of it. All I did was guide it all the way to the end. Let's flash set this nail for 30 seconds. Okay, from here what I'm going to do is go in with my base. Now usually you don't get bubbles with base, but you can. What you do with base, and the reason why usually you don't, is you're supposed to put pressure when you put on base. You're not supposed to guide it on. What you're doing is you're weave it into the natural nail and anchoring it to your extension. So if you float it like this and kind of bounce on it and see how thick it's going on, this will do two things. It could create a bubble and it's going to cause a lot of heat because base does get hotter under the light when you put it on, thicker than just a thin polish. And I'll show you on the other one, it'll make more sense. So see how I kind of floated it on? Okay, I really don't see bubbles in it yet, but there could be when you do it that way. This is how you should put base on. So you put pressure down. So what this does, it doesn't create heat and it will not create a bubble because you're putting pressure and there's no way air could get under it. So let's go ahead and make sure it's all covered. Okay, now I could cure it for 30 seconds. Okay, so from here, let's take off our form. And I wanted to make it a little longer so you could see better. Okay, from here what I'm going to do is build my body. So this is what not to do. You don't come in here and bounce it to get it to your cuticle. See how I'm kind of bouncing it in, bouncing it in. Seems easy to do it this way because it really doesn't move, but what you're doing is you're creating air pockets in the gel. So see how I'm kind of going in my gel heavy-handed? Sometimes I notice people will go real smooth like this and then kind of go heavy-handed. You have to remind yourself to do it a little lighter, like taking a right on top of the gel. So you don't want to kind of stab it like this, which is kind of a habit some people have, especially if you're an acrylic girl, you have a heavier hand. Okay, so let's cure this for 30 seconds just to flash set it. I turned the light on right away because I don't want it to move. The next one, let's do our application, how you should apply it. So what you do is you squeeze out the product and you kind of bring your brush on, or your applicator, I should say, in this case, because I'll show you the brush after, is you come like on top of it and see how I'm on top of my gel doing a circular motion. I'm not hopping on it. I'm making a gliding motion. I'll squeeze right here, then I'll move. I'm gonna hold her fingernail down. And as you could see how it's looking very crystal clear, I'm doing light movement here. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze again right here for some to come out. Lightly take your time. You could see it looks like glass coming out. So the secret is your movement side to side or front to back, not inside your gel. So it's just taking it right on top of your gel and guiding it where you need it to go from there. Let's flash set this 30 seconds. Okay, so if you look really closely right now, as you could see, you could physically see all the bubbles in this one from the movement I did. This one here looks crystal clear. Okay, so it's taking a ride on top of your gel and not going inside of it. Now I didn't focus really on my shape. I was just doing application because I want to show you the movement. I have not filed these yet, but even just in my first coat, I already have bubbles in that one. Okay, for this one, I'm going to use Synergy Gel and I'm going to use my brush to apply everything. So I'll start off with Clear Sculptor. Now Clear Sculptor, you could get bubbles in. And what I'm gonna do on the first one is I'm gonna do what not to do when applying Clear Sculptor or when you're picking it out of the pot, picking it up out of the pot of the gel. The thing about Clear Sculptor in the pot, you could see all the times we've used it, it's really thick and it kind of stays really thick and it's really nice to make your extensions. But if you pick it up, and I'm gonna kind of do the movement before I get it because it'll happen quick. If I go in and come up to get more like in this motion, as you could see from the side, see how I'm doing this round motion? What that's gonna do is create little pocket holes, and it's so thick, it's gonna create the little air in there, the air pocket, and it's gonna stay in there. Okay, so I see a lot of people do this. They come in, they don't have enough on their brush, or see how it circled around, still don't have enough, see how they circled around and then picked it up? So what I'll do from here is what not to do, right? So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna get it in front of my brush, and you see how I'm kind of bouncing on it? Okay, kind of moving over and coming way back and bouncing on it and inside the gel. And sometimes when you're learning, this happens. So us showing you what not to do helps a lot. So it's kind of just getting it everywhere we need it. Oh, we need more. So we're getting a little circular motion right. And then coming in. See, I'm going back and forth with it to bring it back. Okay, so now I have my extension. So how about right away I do my application the right way? Okay, so let me show you how you come in. See how I come in and I go deep enough and come straight up. Take off your side. It's crystal clear already. You have plenty on your brush. So what I did is I went in from the side, I went in and straight up. I didn't do this number, okay? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it right at the tip. Now watch how I get it to the front of my brush. I kind of go down, come up while I'm still in the gel. See how I'm not separating myself from the gel? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in front of my brush, come behind it while I'm on top of the gel. I'm never really disconnecting with it. Okay, so come here, get it in front of your brush. Now I'm gonna slowly, just softly on top of it, brush it down. Slow movement, brush it down really soft. You're not inside your gel, you're on top of your gel. Okay, now we could flash set this 30 seconds. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is go into my base gel. What not to do is picking it up in a circular motion like this, and let me show you what's happening inside your gel. See those bubbles right there? You're creating all those little bubbles by doing that. So what you're gonna do is, let me wipe off my brush, you're gonna come straight in and straight up. Okay, so let's do it again, because this one I'm gonna apply how not to apply. You're gonna come in here and get all these bubbles. You're not gonna put a lot of pressure on your brush, you're kind of floating your base on. This is what not to do, okay? This is not only gonna give a bubble, it's going to create heat because base gets really hot. It's designed to anchor your nail and bond and weave into your natural nail, and then to hold on what you put on top of it, not to build body. So now this is how you're going to pick it up correctly. You're just gonna come in kind of at an angle and come straight up. Wipe off your corner. Then what you're gonna do is, I like to start in the middle and put pressure. See how I'm putting pressure on my bristles? This is what you wanna do for your application of your base. So because I'm putting pressure, there's not gonna be any bubbles in your base when you put pressure. It's gonna put pressure. If there is a bubble, it's gonna pop it as it comes down. So let's cure this 30 seconds. Okay, I cured my base for 30 seconds. Now I'm gonna take off my forms. So now that I have off the forms, I'm gonna go into my build, my clear build. So the first one is what not to do when you pick up your gel and when you're applying the gel. Just a reminder. So don't come in like this. When you're trying to pick up a bunch, every time you come up, it's gonna get thinner. See that? So a lot's coming off, so I find people keep going in. Let me break away from this and show you what was created. Can you see those bubbles created already in there? Okay, so you do not want to do that movement. So you create these bubbles here, you pick it up, come here, and you start bouncing it to kind of, well, you're pillowing it here, but you're bouncing away. See how you kind of disconnect from your gel? It's kind of connected still, like a strand of it, but what you're doing when you're going back down is creating bubbles. So, or doing this movement. See how I go up and come back? That's creating bubbles as well. Okay, again, picking this up. So I'm kind of on top of the gel, but I'm bouncing. And it's going on pretty well. It's not flowing everywhere, but the thing is you're creating bubbles, and if you want the clarity, then you're gonna be in trouble at this point. Okay, let's flash this for 30 seconds. So now this is how you want to pick up your build. You want to come in at a slight angle, pick up your product, a little turn here, and bring it to the other side. So here you're going to set it down and you're on top of the gel, okay? See how you're on top of the gel? You could do a circular motion to the left, a circle to the right. If you want to do more of this movement, you can, but you have to do it really slow through here. So see how I could get it, like my movement's not really bouncing and getting air bubbles in there, but your best bet is to guide it with a side to side motion. And then you want to reconnect it in here. Be careful when you reconnect it. Go in a circular motion so you don't add a bubble when you reconnect it. And then kind of go ahead and softly, taking it right on top of your gel, bring it all the way down. Flash set this. So as you could see, there's a huge difference in comparison. You could also see slight imperfections in this one. I mean, so minor that honestly, to try to be perfect on every single one of them is pretty challenging, especially when you're against the clock. But when you use the right movement and you're getting it on smooth, it still has the glass effect. But when you're bouncing everywhere and creating bubbles, then you're gonna get this effect right here. So I hope that helped, and have fun applying your gel in the future.
Hey guys, what's going on? We hope you love our videos. Let us know in the comments below what you want to see next. To see more, head over here. To subscribe to our channel, head over here.